So I'm Mark Bachmann here at the fly fishing shop in Waltz's, Oregon. I'm getting ready to go on my next saltwater excursion, and I've just got myself a brand new fly rod here, which I'm going to take with me. And one of the things you want to do before you go on any kind of an extended trip is you want to inspect all your gear. You want to make sure, especially that your rods and reels and all that stuff are in perfect working order. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about fly rods. So this is a 4-piece rod, and you notice it's got a little bit longer handle than normal. It's made for, big game fish. In actuality, this rod here is just a prop because I already own one of these rods. But I'm just going to walk you through how you're going to treat your new fishing tackle and or your old stuff that you've already fished with for years. You want to inspect everything about your rod before you put it in your luggage, and you want to make sure that you wax all the ferrules. Now this is a piece of a white candle. It's got a very high paraffin content, so it's going to keep the sections of the rods from sticking together. And you just rub that on the ferrule, on the male end of the ferrule. Take the next section and slip it together, twist it around so you get wax on both the male and female parts of the ferrule. That'll keep this rod from seizing up and sticking together when the sun is hot, and it'll also provide enough cohesion there between the two pieces to keep that rod from coming apart.
That is to say, to keep your rod from coming apart while you are fishing.
I'm just going to go through this real quick. And when you're doing this detail right here, of course, you can start from either end. Okay, now we're going to start from the tip end here, and when we actually put these sections of this rod together, we're going to line the guides up by starting about 45 degrees out of alignment and then twisting these sections together and then sighting down the two sections of the rod. Make sure that the guides are lined up. We've already waxed this ferrule too, so we're going to twist this one together, line it up. There we are. Looks good and straight. Going through this process enables you to tell, if you've got sections of the rod coming apart. Here I'm going to use the reel seat, and I'm going to make sure, once again, this is a dummy reel. I've got one like it in my stash, but I just picked this out of stock. Make sure that the reel and the rod actually fit together. Sometimes there's some variances between these manufacturers, and sometimes they don't communicate real well. You notice that I'm setting this up just like I'm going to go fishing, so I put the first lock ring in there, tighten that up. I'm going to wiggle that reel around just a little bit, make sure there's no slack there. Then I'm going to put the lock ring on it. I'm going to make sure that's secure. Then I'm going to sight right down the reel, and I'm going to make sure that all the sections of the rod are all lined up. This does two things. It allows the line to flow through the guides with the least amount of friction. And if things tend to start coming apart, then you can see that things are no longer aligned, and you can tell that you've got a loose ferrule somewhere. And the problem, of course, with loose ferrules is as soon as you get slack between the two sections of the rod, then they can work against each other, and you can actually break one or both ends, of the sections here. So you want to keep your ferrules good and tight. You want to make sure that you've got your ferrules lubricated. Make sure that there's no grit or anything in your ferrules. Check everything over before you put your new rod in your luggage. And good luck to you. I'll talk to you when I get down to Mexico on this trip and show you how to put this stuff together to bring it back home.
Did you?
Yeah. He's seen a big fish. Well, I had the Dorado one.
Sí, aparte traíamos el dorado y no nos puede mover. Cuando estaba, porque nos pegó lejecitos y le eché otro puño de sardina.
Those are fun. I got one nice free about.
Pero no me agarraron sardina que hace a mí a ti.
Right there. Well, Mark's got a Dorado on now. It's a pretty little thing. He's almost got it landed before I got the camera on. Ooh, isn't that, look at those blue fins. Basket.
And this right here is where you never ever loan this woman a fly rod.
You stress them out.
You test them, don't you, Peavy?
Oh, I do test them. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's a beauty. Okay, hang on now, let me get a picture. So here we are at the Mission Hotel and we're getting ready to come home, go back to Oregon. You know, and our rods are all covered with salt because they've been out in the salt spray and they've got fish slime all over them, fortunately. And you know, if you put these rods away in a rod sock, then they just sit there and fester. They get all the salt, the fish slime and residue, you know, in the rod sock. And of course then you might forget to put them away when you get home, and then pretty quick, you know, you got them sitting there for 6 months or a year without any use, and they're just sitting there festering, and the salt is eating away on the anodized reel seat and the guides and cork and all that kind of stuff. And you get it out, and you know, it's still usable and everything, but it's not nearly as nice a rod as if you know, taking your time to clean it up a little bit. So I've got this wash rag here right out of the bathroom here at the Mission Hotel, and I've washed it out with fresh water. So I'm going to just scrub this rod down and get it ready to transport for home. So I'm going to start right here with the extension butt, and then I'm going to move through the reel seat. You especially want to move these rings around here a little bit so you expose all the threads on the reel seat. You know, and those threads is where a lot of the salt collects. This rod saw a lot of activity down here in Loretto, so it got fish slime on it, rooster fish slime and Dorado fish slime and Cabria fish slime and scales and all that. So I'm scrub this cork down, make sure that it stays in really good condition so it fits your hand nice. And I'm just going to move on up the rod. And
You'll notice a heavy accumulation of salt on this rod blank. After 6 days of fishing, this rod is literally encased in a sheath of salt.
And make sure that I get around this guide foot here, get all that residue out of there, you know, and get her cleaned up nice, bring it back, you know, the next trip, and it'll be in really good shape. Thanks for watching.